What are we thinking about Amazon? We pointed out the stock has underperformed this year, at least versus many of its large cap technology peers as we head into this important holiday season. Are you positive?
Yeah, we're very positive. And in fact, it may have underperformed this year relative to the internet index, at least the way we define it. But over the last 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years, it has dramatically outperformed. And we think that over the next 12 months, it'll outperform again. Remember, they claimed about 35% market share last year of the holidays. We think they're going to claim about 37% this year. So they're growing about, 20%. The market is growing in the mid-teens. So net, we think Amazon is still the biggest winner this holiday season.
Anthony, if Amazon's the biggest winner this holiday season, and we're already seeing signs that it's going to be another record Cyber Monday, why is the stock down 2% right now?
That's a good question. I'm not sure I have a great answer for that. I mean, I agree with Youssef. I mean, look, over Black Friday, store traffic was down about 6%, but online sales were up 19%. And Amazon has about 50% domestic market share. If we're looking at, blockbuster or record Cyber Monday sales, once again, Amazon will be the largest beneficiary there as well. So I would say, buy into the weakness today.
Youssef, I guess, we still have almost universal bullishness among sell-side analysts toward Amazon. People have assumed that its competitive advantages are just going to continue to bear out in outperformance. Right. Are we basically just seeing it having to grow into this valuation right here, or is there something you think in particular, whether it's the cost of, instant delivery across the industry that has people, a little more hesitant to pay up for Amazon right now?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And that would actually partially explain or answer the prior question, which is, look, they modeled for about an $800 million spend to allow for this one-day Prime delivery in Q2. They came in close to $1 billion by our estimates. Same thing in Q3. In Q4, they're going to spend $1.5 billion. So from a margin standpoint, if you look at 2019 and 2020, we're assuming a deterioration in margin short term, and we're not assuming that those margins bounce back to 2018 levels until probably 2022 or 2023, which scares a lot of people. That said, look at what happened in 2005 when Prime 2-day free shipping was first launched. It caused a couple of 100 basis point deterioration in gross margins in EBITDA margins, but the net effect was a huge acceleration in the top line from the low 20s, 22% in 05 to like 38% in 07. So that's, I think, what the market is missing here, because if you look at consensus estimates for the top line for 2020 and 2021, the market is assuming a deterioration, a deceleration, and we think the opposite is going to happen. We think we're going to see a revenue growth acceleration with a slight deterioration in margins, which is absolutely fine.
Anthony, shifting gears just slightly from the consumer here where Amazon is concerned, how big is the government opportunity? Certainly the JEDI cloud contract for the DoD, the protest that's happening there is getting a lot of attention, but you've got General Services Administration changing the way it's going to contract, which could create opportunities for Amazon to sell more goods to different government agencies. Is that something that investors are paying enough attention to? How big is that opportunity?
I don't think investors are paying enough attention to that, and I agree with you. It's a humongous opportunity, and there's a few different ways for Amazon to attack that. One is obviously through cloud computing, and let's be clear about this JEDI contract. There's no good reason that Amazon lost that contract. Amazon has first mover advantage in cloud. They have the largest cloud ecosystem. They're most innovative, and so I think you're going to see them get more than their fair share of government contracts going forward. I think to some extent that this, protest was to basically say, hey, Trump, look, we're not going to take this lying down. The other thing is like you said, just in terms of services, just in terms of selling products to the government. Amazon Business continues to go at a very fast rate. They're taking a lot of market share from the Staples and the Office Depots of the world. We think that will continue.
Youssef, we haven't spent much time here talking about AWS. There was a reference to it, obviously, just moments ago, JEDI contract. But, I mean, it is such an important component overall of the company's profits, given the incredible margins and growth of that business. Do you have any concerns at all about the increasing competition from the likes of Azure or even Google's cloud business, that perhaps estimates are a bit high for what AWS can achieve?
Yes, I think that is something that on the third quarter call freaked a lot of people out, frankly, and that explained the dramatic underperformance, at least over the last several weeks. AWS already has the largest market share. They're doing 25 to 30 billion plus in revenues. They have the widest footprint, the best technology. But GCP or Google Cloud, which we also cover, is literally doubling every year off of a small base, but doubling nonetheless when AWS is growing around, 30, mid-30s type of percent. So on the margin, Azure and GCP are gaining share. My view is this is a very, very large market, a global market in nature. And so you shouldn't just look at the growth rate. You should look at the incremental dollar of revenues that come into AWS relative to the other players. And AWS continues to claim the lion's share of that still.
Finally, we're talking about Amazon, where the holiday shopping season is concerned. But Youssef, you say there are other names within the tech sphere, names that you cover that could also benefit this season. What are they?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to focus on basically Facebook and Google, who are effectively really the arms dealers for all of the e-commerce players trying to reach the consumer. Peloton is also a very, very interesting play. And Trade Desk, if you're interested in non-walled gardens like Facebook and Google, Trade Desk, TTD is the ticker, is really interesting as the largest player in programmatic advertising in the space.